Washington D.C. doesn't feel big because of its size. It feels big because of its weight. Power lives here. History piles up here like old paper. And nobody throws anything out. And Puerto Rico? Puerto Rico doesn't look like this. But for more than a century, its life has been shaped by decisions made in places exactly like this. Hello everybody, welcome back to another great episode. I'm Josue, the spirited historian. In the last couple of years, my wife and I have started a new tradition. Trying to be in a different part of the world for New Year's. It's a good way to end one year and to start the other. So this past New Year, we went to Washington, the nation's capital. This episode is travel, food, drinks, and of course, history. All of it. But it's also about a relationship, one that existed way before the United States of America even existed. Changed dramatically in 1898, was rebranded in 1952, and got a reality check with PROMESA. And here's the twist. DC and PR have something in common. They're both home, but not fully in charge. Home rule, limited power. Like being invited to family dinner, but not allowed to touch the thermostat. This was our second time in DC, but this time it hit different, more mature, more peaceful, less checklists, more absorption. DC is one of those places that makes you feel small, not because you're insignificant, but because the place has seen too much. And just as we were waking up on our last full day at the capital of the nation, the news breaks. The US captures Venezuelan dictator Nicolás Maduro, and the region's airspace starts locking up like a bad door in a horror movie. Back home, San Juan's airport turns into a waiting room with anxiety as the main airlines cancel their flights. People are stuck. So we're in the center of federal power, watching power move in real time, and wondering if we can even get back to our home. That's not symbolism, that's just a Saturday morning in the modern world. Before 1776, there was no Washington D.C., no Congress, no Constitution, but Puerto Rico already exists as part of the Spanish Atlantic world. San Juan isn't a cute colonial town. It's a fortress built to stop empires from doing what empires do. The British colonies and Puerto Rico didn't share a nation. They shared an ocean shaped by empire, trade routes, privateers, conflict, surveillance, rumor. Different roles, different futures, same chessboard. This might be the most beautiful building in Washington, D.C. The line was long, the cold, well, it was cold. But then you walk inside and you realize this isn't just a library, it's a monument to memory. We even saw the Gutenberg Bible. That's one of those moments that doesn't need a filter. If you want to understand power, you study laws. If you want to understand how power justifies itself, you study archives. Here's the thing about portraits. They're propaganda that learned how to dress well. Mariela is into First Ladies history, and we both love presidential history. So this place was basically our version of Disneyland. And when you're doing an episode about Puerto Rico and Washington, this hits hard, because Puerto Rico's story is constantly being affected by people whose portraits hang on these walls like saints, and whose decisions don't always come with consequences for them personally. In 1898, Puerto Rico doesn't join the United States. It's transferred by treaty, empire to empire. Same island, new authority. You see, Puerto Rico did not join the United States. It was assigned to it. That distinction still matters, historically, legally, and philosophically. You see, in order to change our history, whatever that road may be, we really need to understand and accept what really did happen. And then came the frameworks. A military government, then a transition to civilian government, citizenship, rules of the relationship. Rights expand, power remains. Complicated. Started a new year in museums, in libraries, and archives, and really old bars, an experience like no other. And the Smithsonian National Museum of History definitely was one of our favorites. The Smithsonian National Museum of American History has held Puerto Rico-focused materials and exhibitions, like the Teodoro Vidal collection. Because Puerto Rico isn't outside American history, it's inside. And that's a weird emotional moment, because you're walking through American history. And there it is, Puerto Rico. Not as a footnote, not as a rumor. Present. And yes, this episode as all the others have a cocktail. And I did a little research, like I always do, and I used this, the Jerry Thomas Bartender's Guide of 1862. Jerry Thomas is believed to be the father of bartending. And from here, I got the cobbler. The cobbler is an old drink, older than cocktail culture, older than ice machines, older than the idea that a drink needs to be impressed with itself. In the 19th century, the cobbler was the traveler's drink. It was served in port cities, probably like San Juan and Alexandria, anywhere ships arrived. Papers were stamped and people waited. Sherry cobblers were everywhere. Spain, Britain, the Americas. Merchants drank them, diplomats drank them, journalists drank them. People who moved between worlds drank them. Crushed ice was a luxury back then. So ordering a cobbler meant you had time. Time to sit, time to talk, time to negotiate. The one and making uses rum. Puerto Rican rum. Because the Caribbean was never just a scenery, it was infrastructure. It has sherry, and this bottle, Mariela's grandmother gave it to me. Because Spain was here long before anyone called this an American story. And this one has just a little whiskey. Whiskey from Virginia. Not to dominate the drink, but to remind you who eventually ran the room. 3 spirits, 1 glass, unequal proportions. That's not a cocktail metaphor. That's history. This is a 19th century traveler's drink. 1952 changes the language. Puerto Rico adopts the Constitution, Commonwealth identity, local governance. The island governs itself until it doesn't. That's not cynicism. That is the structure. After 1952, Puerto Rico gets a constitution, local government, and a new political identity. But sovereignty does not transfer. Congress remains in control, even when it chooses not to act. PROMESA doesn't invent federal power. This building has decided Puerto Rico's fate for centuries. Laws are debated here. Policies are written here. Puerto Rico has a voice inside, but never a vote on the final outcome. Representation exists. Power does not. So there we were, walking at night in the cold, 20 degrees cold, and we're looking at the lights, the Christmas lights, and we see the national tree. And then we see a lot more trees. And then the details I didn't expect to hit me. The trees. The pathway of peace includes trees representing the states and the territories, Puerto Rico included. It's not a policy change. It's not a vote. It's a symbol. But symbols matter. They tell you who the nation admits into the room, even when the sitting chart is unfair. Alexandria has to be now one of our favorite towns. Alexandria is the kind of place that feels old in a way your bones understand. Port City energy, old brick, old arguments. It reminded me of Boston, a little New Orleans, and yes, old San Juan, in that I'm walking inside a postcard that had politics feeling. At the Basilica of St. Mary, founded in 1795, there's documentation that George Washington himself contributed to the creation of a Catholic parish. We attended Mass on New Year's Day, and it felt grounding. History isn't just dates, it's routines. So we went to Gadsby's Tavern. Buildings from 1785 and 1792 hosted the famous, the ambitious, the half-drunk, and the calculating. Both George and Martha Washington attended the tavern, and another notable patron included Thomas Jefferson, who celebrated his inauguration as the third president of the United States with a banquet at Mr. Gadsby's in 1801. How about that? So we ate and we drank in the same place where George Washington and Thomas Jefferson ate and drank. And that was our last night of 2025. So in one of our days in Washington D.C., we had lunch at the Old Ebbitt Grill. Not only the place was really nice, but also the food and the service, especially at the bar, was really great. The Old Ebbitt Grill, established in 1856, is one of those DC places where history doesn't yell, it murmurs. We ate at the bar because, well, we love eating at the bar, and it's close to the cocktails. Also, there's less waiting and more personality. I mean, bartenders are more relaxed. And in a city built on negotiation, the bar is where you can actually breathe. This definitely was a fun trip, but you can't deny the history linked between Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C. Puerto Rico isn't a legal theory. It's where people wake up, drink coffee, go to work, raise families, and live with decisions made far away. The relationship with Washington has delivered stability, citizenship, and opportunity. It's also delivered limits, contradictions, and frustration. You can call that a problem. You can call it pragmatic. You can call it unfinished. History doesn't care what you call it. History only records what lasts. Puerto Rico and Washington D.C., different territories, same power, and a story that isn't done being told. Did we make it home on time? Well, yes, we did. We were actually going to fly to Philadelphia to then take another plane from Philadelphia to San Juan. So that actually made it better. And we left DC on the Sunday after the takeover of Maduro, when they started opening back the airports in San Juan. So yes, we made it to San Juan just on time to celebrate the Three Kings Day. And just like that, it's the end of the episode. Thank you for watching. Have a great Sunday. I would like it very much if you hit that like button and the subscribe button. Yeah, subscribe. Go to church. Have fun. Salud.